foremost, we have to consider that there are right now billions of people who have already been born in this life, have lived, and have died. And I bring that up because it's a sober reminder that this short life that we're given is quick, is temporary, and once a person dies, they are appointed for judgment. But you have to understand the reality is that right now, there are billions of people who are awaiting judgment. And they are, I believe they're in a place called Hades. Some people refer to this as hell. But if you look at the translation in the New Testament where you read hell, you'll more than likely get Hades, Gehenna, um, Tartaros, but mostly it's the translation is Hades. And Hades is a place where, if you consider the parable of the rich man and Lazarus, Lazarus was in a place called Abraham's bosom. And um, the rich man was in the part of Hades in which there was a gulf between him and Lazarus. And he was in a place that was um, not very comfortable. And his request was that if Lazarus could just dip his finger in the water and just be able to touch his tongue to give him just a drop of water. But there was consciousness there, obviously, and he was not in a good state. But that wasn't his final fate. The rich man's final fate is actually at the end of the millennial reign. So if there's somebody who died in their sin, and I'm not sure how the element of time works for them, but from the perspective of time, that person has to wait uh, for the rapture to happen, the tribulation period to happen, the second coming to happen, the millennial reign to happen, only to be resurrected and to stand before the white throne of Christ and be judged and ultimately thrown into the lake of fire. And the reason why I say, right now we have over 8 billion estimated people to be on this earth, but we've obviously have had billions and billions of people throughout human history live and die. And the great majority, I won't even say greater, the great majority of people um, have not accepted or received Christ, sadly. And so you have a great majority of people who don't get a second chance, who have already rejected the free gift of Jesus Christ and are in a miserable place right now and have nothing to look forward to except standing before God, the living God, and having to give an account for their life and their sins, and even every idle word that was mentioned, that the things that were done in secret will be shouted from the rooftops. I mean, it's just a horrific scene, it will be. And then ultimately be condemned and be placed in the lake of fire. So I'm bringing this gory. It's sad. It's gory. It's horrific. It's terrifying. But the scriptural reality is that there's billions of people right now who would absolutely love to trade places with you for the very fact that you're saved and you're under the blood of Christ, and they have absolutely no hope, no second chance, no salvation. And so if you think you're frustrated because the rapture hasn't happened yet, keep in mind of so many people who've lived this life and are gone, and I just have that fate. So pity on us that we're a bit inconvenienced that our rapture waiting seems to be too long. How dare we? Really? And I'm speaking to myself. How dare we? When you think of what's at stake here, because I've said this before, the rapture and the tribulation period is much bigger than me, and it's much bigger than us. And there's a lot on the line here. Besides, we don't feel all that comfortable right now, and we want to be out of here.